Hi, I'm GoTiger, and welcome back to my Kairos Fateweaver playthrough in Warhammer 3. Now, I've moved on a turn or two, nothing too much has happened, except for we had a dialogue pop up about increasing our corruption, and thanks to the two buildings that I created, one at the Floating Mountain and one at the Bloodwind Keep, our corruption over 2 turns actually spread high enough that we've started to affect the environment. And if we can keep increasing it, we actually might start to spawn some armies loyal to ourselves. So sounds like it's going to be a fantastic way of improving our surroundings by adding all this corruption. Because I think we will also gain bonuses from that corruption being there. If I click on the settlement, so we're getting control +3 because we've got the higher corruption here. We have a look up here where the corruption is even higher. Is it? Oh yeah, we're getting even more. So up here, we're getting attrition for non-chaos armies. So if Cathay happens to wander down, they'll start taking attrition. We're getting increased winds of magic and control +8. So spreading our corruption far and wide is really going to be something we want to concentrate on doing. So we now have an option to upgrade the Bloodwind Keep to tier 2. However, I'm going to hold off on that because the Volary is our primary settlement here, and I'd like that to be upgraded to tier 3 first. And we need to wait 11 turns before we can do so. So on those 2 turns that I was waiting, which you missed unfortunately because I forgot to press record, we increased our corruption and we recruited just a few units, a couple of pink horrors and a couple of blue horrors. So we're now ready to go and take Hellcade Drove on the next turn. We're just waiting in ambush just in case any Khorne armies show up. So let's move on to the next turn. Oh, so we've met Thraltras, the dreaded woe, warriors of chaos. Stand before our perch, pique our interest, I like that. Come, let us sign a pact in blood of innocence and seal it with the bones of your fathers. Why the bones of my fathers? Okay, so they would like military access and they're going to give me some cash. Well, let's have a look. Can we get anything else out of them? Oh, we probably can. So if we take that away, and we can get a little bit more cash. Okay, well, so we must have a non-aggression pact with them already, surely. Oh, we have a military alliance with them. Okay, well, in that case, we will allow them access through our lands. I suppose I should check the diplomacy and see who we actually have alliances with. Mission issued. Earn 20 allegiance with any allied faction. Allegiance is built up between factions that maintain long-running alliances as a measure of their mutual support. With sufficient allegiance, a faction may call on its ally to offer targeted military assistance. Allegiance points are shown on the War Coordination panel, which may be accessed on the diplomacy screen when an ally or vassal is selected. Allegiance is earned slowly over time, while an alliance is maintained. It may also be earned by completing certain missions that are issued when both factions have a mutual enemy. Okay, so we'll earn Favour and Grimoires. So let's have a look here. Let's jump down to Diplomacy. So here we have the War Coordination. So let's choose that ally. Let's go by Treaty. So I'm assuming that's our ally. Yep.
It's me!
So what do we got with them? Well, we got a non-erection pact and military access. So they're not an ally. So I don't know why it said they were previously. I said, but these are an ally. Military alliance with Salthoriel's Watchers. We're just the other side of the Eastern Steppes. So we can see with them that we have war coordination options. So if we open this up, so we've got a whole new set of things we can do, which actually make alliances worthwhile in Game 3. So we can select the target like we could in Warhammer 2. I cannot say whether or not they are more effective at following your orders or requests than they were in Game 2. I'll have to find out as we go along, I suppose. We can request an army of theirs, which is nice if we have enough allegiance. We've got 16, we need 56 for that one. You can build outposts in your allies' settlements, and they can build them in yours as well, but only in your province capitals. And depending on who your ally is, you might even find yourself gaining access to units you normally wouldn't get access to. So, for instance, if you're playing as Kislev, and you make an alliance with the ogres, you might be able to get access to Mournfang cavalry. Or if you're playing as Nurgle and you make an alliance with Tzeentch, then you may be able to gain access to some flyers and longer range missile units. So very, very interesting changes. Of course, you've got missions as well, which can increase your allegiance. So very much happy that they decided to add this feature. Wasn't expecting alliances really to change that much in Game 3, but CA outdid themselves there. Okay, so let's close that off. We don't really need to do anything with them at the moment. Okay, so we now have a turn, and we have the option to attack. Now, I'm not seeing any of their armies around. Doesn't mean they're not just out of sight. Let's break our cover. Oh, if I can. There we go. Let's break our cover and let's attack Hellcade Drove. Now, they shouldn't have too large a garrison. Okay, so similar to the last place, but not quite the same. Actually, this is going to be a valiant defeat. Okay, not what I was expecting. Hopefully the auto-resolve is wrong there. Okay. That's quite a settlement. It's going to be a bugger to navigate through. And the towers in this can be deadly. So we're going to want to concentrate our fire on the towers. Alright, if we split our forces on each side of the map, then they'll have to split theirs. And that means that we can fight our way to the middle, and hopefully dealing with less of them. Okay, let's see about doing that. So let's save it off in case anything goes wrong, and I'll see you on the other side of the battle, and you can enjoy the cinematics. Welcome back to the campaign. After what was quite a grueling battle, my lord, that settlement, those were very narrow paths, very tricky to get my units through. I think that map was not designed for ultra unit scale, probably just standard. You probably have an easier time getting through it on that one. But yeah, very tricky. Those towers were a pain in the ass, but we're back and we survived for the most part. We lost some blue horrors, not a big deal. However, we lost our burning chariot of Tzeentch. We got stuck in melee with some warriors, chaos warriors of Khorne. Just couldn't get it out. It was quite frustrating. So, unfortunately, there goes our chaos chariot, but we'll replace it with something else. You know, I'm sure we'll find something better. But Khorne's sons have lost another settlement, and we have gained control of the Hellcade Drove. We did go for the technology to the sack, but we haven't finished researching that yet. Although that's a nice amount of... No, we've got to go for the Occupy. Occupy, lick our wounds, grow our corruption. So casualties post-battle plus 12%. That's nice. It's going to be very handy to recuperate the losses we suffered. Alright, let's have a look at what we have. So we can give Blue Fire of Tzeentch, and we can give him an assassinated. It's always handy to have someone on the campaign map who can assassinate. So we're going to go for assassinate and give him specialist in that. And then a handy new feature in Game 3 is, as well as being able to flick between your heroes using the arrows, you now have little pictures of your heroes. So when you've got maybe half a dozen to 10, it's nice and easy to navigate. So let's jump to Kairos. And let's have a look. He's got 2 points to spend. So we're going to go for prismatic plurality. Damn, that's a mouthful. So this will augment the winds of magic. I will happily take that. And then let's have a look. We're now into the second section of spells. So we could go for magical reserves. So power reserve plus 20% when increasing. Infernal Gateway Vortex spell. Looks nice. Tzeentch's Firestorm. I think we'll go for the magical reserves and then start working on these. Okay, let's have a look at the Hellcade Drove, which we just captured. So we do have an option to build. We could go for another corruption building, or maybe maybe for military. So this will give us Chaos Furies and Blue Horrors. I believe we get Blue Horrors by default from these, because we were able to recruit from the Floating Mountain without having built any military buildings. So let's go back in. Can't build any of the tier 2s. So we'll have to settle for one of these. We could go for growth and barrier replenishment rate, 15%. That's excuse me. That's nice. And once magic is strong or higher, you get growth plus 10 as well. That's an interesting bonus to that one. Income generate plus 50 with strong winds of magic. And control plus 1. So it seems like we can do more with our winds of magic manipulation than I first thought. So you could also boost your settlements if you really want to get them cooking with gas, as it were. Okay, let's go for the income and growth. And do we have access? We can. We can get some blue horrors. So let's grab 2 more units of blue horrors. 3 turns until that technology is researched. And we won't do anything else here. Now, new to Game 3 are these pinned events. So now you can keep everything that you want to make sure that you remember on the side here. The only issue at the moment that I see with it is that they are pinned by default, so you can get quite a list going if you don't trim them often. So to trim the events which are shown here, you just simply click on one. It'll take you to your objectives panel. Another way of getting to that is to come down through objectives, and you've got the same thing. So we can see the events that the objectives or events that we've finished, and we can see the ones that are currently active. So into the east, maintain control of the following province. So don't need to keep that one. I don't need to be reminded about that. Don't need to be reminded about growing my forces, so we'll remove that. Spread enough chaos to unlock an unholy manifestation. Well, that's going to happen naturally, so I don't need to really care about that. and earn 20 allegiance with any allied faction, and that's something that will grow over time as well. So don't really need to keep any of those active at the moment. So let's move on. So we've got 506 grimoires, which is nice. I don't think we've got any options to spend them, or do we? We could look at maybe getting ourselves another settlement. Oh no, we've got a 5-turn cooldown remaining on that. We're in our own area, so we can't use the unholy manifestations. So we've got a building upgrade. That's that one. We're not worried about that at the moment. So let's end the turn. Let's take a sip of water. Could be thirsty work, all this talking. Okay, so Bloodwind Keep. We are going to avoid that for the moment. Hopefully we don't get attacked by an army from Cathay. I mean, the attrition they'll take will be helpful, but it won't stop them. So let's get back down here. So we've got, I believe there's one more. There we go, one more of their settlements left. Let's just double check. Let's talk to them in diplomacy and see what they have. So Karnath's sons, one settlement. So if we can destroy that, then that's that war over with. And we can then concentrate on harassing Cathay. So cannot see their army, but I'm assuming that that's going to be much tougher than what we fought previously. I think we'll need to raise a second army, and that might be a wise decision right now, actually. We'll go for some more blue horrors. 100 upkeep, okay. And let's go for another army. So we can go for Locus, a Herald of Tzeentch. He's a baffler with miscast-based chance reduction. Or Nunmila, who's a concatenator. Winds of Magic Power Reserve change 10% when increasing. Those are the Law of Tzeentch, and we have the Law of Metal as well. So we can go for Disciplined, so melee attack and leadership in the army. Or Pinioned, 6% campaign movement range. None of them are really jumping out to me. I don't really have much melee at the moment, so I don't know if that will be too beneficial. I mean, +2 isn't really a great deal anyway. Do we want the Law of Tzeentch, or maybe grab some Law of Metal to mix things up a little bit? Total army upkeep estimated to increase by 98. Let's go for Ninth the Architect. So 641, 248. Okay, it's going to be a little expensive, but it's alright. We'll deal with it.
Magical madness.
It's only for a short while. So I want to get one unit for his army. Just the one. And for some reason he can only get the one. Oh. And he's had to get that from global recruitment. We don't want that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So we only have one more coming in there, and then he can get the other slot. There we go. So we are going to use Ninth as bait. Once his army gets done here, we're going to put them on forced march, and we're going to try and coax this army out. Try and trap them in our realm and surround them. Yeah, we'll see how that works. So let's end the turn. Hopefully we can get this to work, because assaulting that is going to be difficult. Alright, control +1. Allegiance is built up between factions, so our allegiance points have reached what we needed, so we got the extra favour and grimoires. Excellent. The Great Game, a new god ascends. A play has been made in the Great Game, and a new god rises to the fore, achieving ascendancy over his ruinous brothers. Tzeentch has gained ascendancy, for now. So, thanks to our spreading of the Tzeentch corruption, Tzeentch is now in ascendance, giving us what? So for 10 turns, all Tzeentch factions have access to more powerful, unholy manifestations. A cult has manifested on the Chimera Plateau. Due to the high levels of corruption in the province, a cult has manifested itself in the settlement of Chimera Plateau, belonging to Subtle Torture. Strike now and construct a building here to reap the benefits. Construct a chaos building. So where is the oh, another one. Fostering amity. Sign a non-aggression pact with any faction. Okay. So where is the Chimera Plateau? I don't know. Let's see, where was it? Okay, it's a little bit out of our way. Very nice and all, but no, I'm not going to send an army over there. Well, we talked about a building. Let's go back here. We talked about making a building, but surely we can't do anything in... Oh, we can! Okay, so this is a settlement of Tzeentch, and we can create a cult. Ah, interesting. So we'll get 10 grimoires per turn. So it's kind of like the Skaven Undercities. When Winds of Magic is strong or higher, we get 20 grimoires per turn. Generate 100 income per turn when the thing Winds of Magic is high. Winds of Magic in this province and adjacent provinces were pushed up to tempestuous. Cult is destroyed upon building completion. Well, I think the only thing really is the grimoires, but that's 2,500. While it's a nice thing to do, I'm not going to do it at the moment. It's not quite worth our while. If they're closer, then I'd possibly think about it, but not at the moment.
Keeper of the destinies.
Okay, so how far can he get? He can get to about here. So let's see, what's the ambush chance? 70% in here. Okay, and then let's get this guy in force march. Can we get him to stop just inside the circle?
Shall I teleport?
Now, let's see how well this big chicken hides in these trees, considering he dwarfs them. Okay, are they in my circle?
The blood gods.
Gonna have to flip around just to make sure they are. Don't want them outside of it. Alright, there we go. So let's see if Karnath's sons fall for that trap. Ah, they did. They came out. And we will get a close victory with low casualties. So we'll lose some blue horrors, and I'm more than happy for that to happen. Blue horrors are expendable, I think, so let's just auto-resolve that one. And we got ourselves a Helm of Discord out of that. So a hex around us. Melee attack and defense plus 24. That could be very handy for Kairos. On the odd time he goes into the melee. Okay, we can go for units replenished. Maybe. Total favor. I think the favor is looking favorable. Let's go for the favor. Then let's have a look at what the city of Splinters looks like. Yeah. So what sort of garrison we're facing? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So we're facing 10. So we want to get onto them as soon as we can. So we want to make sure that we've got enough forces that we can take care of them easily. Alright, so we got those two. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've got 15 to their 10. So we might try and siege them out here. Technology researched. Wonderful. And another mission issued. Defeat the following Lord's army in battle. Ziyong Yuan in the northern provinces. Where is he? Okay, so he's behind the Great Bastion at the moment. Back to Kairos. Now, I would love to stop for a turn and recruit, but I cannot risk them getting an army in there. So we'll have to lay siege immediately. Infernal Gateway. Some Vortex spell. Excuse me. And Tzeentch's Firestorm, another Vortex spell. Warp Flame, weakness to fire damage. Right, Tzeentch's Firestorm it is. What else do we have? The Gaze of Fate. Hex ability. Minus 40 melee attack and cannot move. Oh, that's nice. So, a Hex, range 100 meters. Let's take that. Yeah, it's missile resistance. Maybe if we go for these as well. Let's go for the ambush success chance increased. And then we've got some upgrades for the others, so 4 of them. Let's give him another point of assassinate and specialist. And then Nymph. Okay, so he's a metal, so let's give him Searing Doom. Plague of Rust removes their armor. Glittering Robe gives us more armor. Gehenna's Golden Hounds. Let's go for how long does that last? 13 seconds. There goes my phone again. Okay, let's go for the hounds.
More power to me.
More power to you, that's right. Let's just spin this around. Some normal orientation. Ooh, not quite. Excuse me. A bit of a frog in my throat.
Eternal.
Alright. Let's bring his mate up here to help lay the siege.
Reshape new places.
And then let's lay siege, see if they come out. If they come out, the battle will be easier for us. So that would be nice. Fighting in this settlement would be a tough ask with this army, I think. Let's just have a look at what we'd be up against. Just thinking about showing me. Okay. Yeah, their towers here will probably lay waste to a lot of our army. So let's create a battering ram just on the off chance we do end up in there, and continue the siege. Let's see how long they hold out. So we have a new technology available. Creep rank +1 for blue horrors and pink horrors. Winds of magic power reserve +3% when increasing. So what exactly does it mean by the when increasing? That's something I'm curious about. Cooldown -10% to lure, Tzeentch and metal spells, all armies. Yeah, let's take that.
The fates cry out for this.
Now, building upgrade is available. That'll be Bloodwind Keep again, which I'm not really fussed about. And the others. Okay, alright. We want to get back to here and let's see what they do. Let's see if they attack us. Or if we can... Alright, so they're sallying forth. Our reinforcements will arrive in 57 seconds. And this is going to be a valiant defeat. Okay, why? Why is this a valiant defeat? What do they have that's so powerful? Okay, they got Blood Reaper, they got Blood Ladders of Khorne, Chaos Warriors, Chaos Warhounds, and Furies. So, in melee, they've got 35 attack and 26 defense. Only 30 armor though. In melee, 24 and 24 with 5 armor. 15 armor, 20. Alright, so in melee, they absolutely destroy us. So we need to stay out of melee. And that would be the problem, I guess, because there's going to be a lot of them. Well, let's save it off. It says we're going to have high casualties and a valiant defeat. Let's see if we can prove them wrong. They've got a couple of army abilities. Hopefully, we can defeat them. So, I'll see you on the other side of the campaign, on the other side of the battle, and hopefully it will be successful. Welcome back to the campaign, after that wonderful, wonderful battle against Khorne, where we proved that the checkerboard formation works for Tzeentch. So a decisive victory when they were saying that we were going to suffer a humiliating defeat, and Khorne is now defeated at this outpost. So we've earned some nice rewards, some nice experience for Kairos. So do we want some favour, or would we like some unit replenishment? We did lose a couple of units, 2 units of blues and a unit of pink. Everybody else fared fairly well. Let's go for the replenishment though, because I want to try and get my soul grinder back up to near full health. Back to full health would be better, but of course. He's quite wounded at the moment. Right, so hopefully this should give us the city of Splinters on the next turn. Hellcade drove. There is a vexing problem. At random, your sorceress constructs are collapsing into pools of iridescent mulch, as though consumed from within. Your followers are disquieted. Will they be next? So, perform a rite of equilibrium. Forgotten how to talk today. Which will give me control +4 or do nothing. Okay. So we'll lose 500 favour. Let's do that. Don't want to lose control. Revelations +15 resistance factions. Campaign line of sight. Victory over Khorne. They came to spill blood and take heads, but the blood god's forces were served. Oh, there were severed heads. Were served ignominious defeat instead. Khorne's revenge will be terrible when it comes, however. I'm sure that the CA developers have a great laugh at anybody who's trying to read some of their things sometimes. Achieved victory over Khorne multiple times. Yes, we did. We showed Khorne what's for. +3 leadership when fighting against Khorne factions. And we've got spell shield armor as well. So we now have a quest. The Staff of Tomorrow. Kairos' contemplation of the Well of Eternity has given him an insight which bodes ill for his master's schemes. The Staff of Tomorrow cannot exist in multiple points across the weave of fate. It will create a paradox that could blind Kairos and hamper Tzeentch's plans for the great game. In the moment of comprehension of this fact, the Fateweaver's two heads turn to face each other, and as their eyes meet, he is drawn into a plane of existence that is not the present, yet one which lies between past and future. He must defeat both his past and future selves in order to reconfigure events. So it looks like a quest battle. If we win, we get the Staff of Tomorrow. Hero capacity +1 for cultists. Recruit rank +1 for cultists. Corruption in the province +5. So overall, not the greatest of magical items. The active ability though might be good. I don't know. What would we face? Okay, something that I can't deal with right now. That's for sure. All right. For the future. So let's see, what do they have left? Do they have a garrison? They have 3 units. Well, that should not pose any problem. So let's take the settlement. Do we want to sack it? A decisive victory, as it should be, considering it's just Chaos Warriors and some hounds. Hopefully we don't take too many casualties. Okay, we took a lot more casualties than we should have. What the hell were our guys doing? Sticking their arses, waving them in the air at them? Alright, we gained. And XP. So I did plan to sack this. But now I'm not so sure, because we took so many casualties there from the auto resolve. We could loot and occupy. If we occupy, it's going to be kept at the level it's at, so let's occupy. Okay. Faction destroyed, Karnath's Sons. Okay, that's our first victory over the AI factions. They're obliterated and they're not going to bother us anymore. So it means our southwest flank is secure. We now need to concentrate on our forces in the east. But first of all, we need to rest up for a while, and then we'll make the assault or the move to the east in the next episode. Until that time, I'd like to thank you for joining me, and hopefully I'll see you again. I'm Great Tiger, and I'll see you next time.